Hello everyone, welcome back to the online sessions of the Material Science and Metallurgy. Myself Vivek Parikh. So, in this lecture we will be discussing about the new unit that is known as a solidification of the metals and alloys. In that we will be going for the different types of the thing, that is the first thing which we will be discussing, that is about the solutions. The first thing we will be discussing, that is about the solutions and how they are going to happen. So you all are aware about the thing that what do you mean by the solutions and all that thing. So in this lecture we will be discussing that what are the different types of the solution, and we will be discussing majorly about the solid type of the solution. So what do you mean by this thing that is known as a solution? So solutions, they are made up of the two types. Means they are made up from solute plus solvent. When solute is added in a solvent, whatever the thing which is created, they are known as a particular thing that is known as a solution. What is a solute? Solute is the material which is used in a very small amount, that is known as a solute. Whereas what is solvent? Whenever the solvent means the material which is taken in a very large quantity, that is known as a solvent. Solute means small amount, whereas solvent means large amount. And when solute reacts with the solvent, whatever the thing it is made, that is known as a solution. When solute reacts with the solvent, or whenever solute mixes with the solvent, what is the product which is formed? That is known as a solution. What are the solutions? There are three types of the solutions which are there. That is known as a solid solution, the first one. The second one, that is known as a liquid solution. That is your liquid solution. And the third one which is there, that is known as a gaseous. That is your gaseous solution. So these are the three types of the solutions which are there: solid solution, liquid solution, gaseous solution. What is the difference between all these three things? In this thing, if you are going for the solid solution, then for solid solution your solute can be any phase, solid, liquid, gas, but the solvent should be always solid. What is the solid solution? Your solvent should be solid, whereas your solute can be taken in any phase, that is solid, liquid, gas. You can take any of the phase for this thing. What is liquid solution? The same one. Solvent should be in the liquid form, whereas solute can be taken as anything, that is solid, liquid, gas. Same one for the gaseous solution. Your solvent should be in the gaseous state, whereas it can be of the any solute, solid, liquid, gas. Which are the examples of the solid solutions? Now remember the thing, if we are taking all the cases, then the things of the solid solution, that means if we are taking solid, solute also solid, solvent also solid, then what will be made in that thing? That is the case of an alloy. Both the things, if they are of the solid state and if you are mixing it, what we are getting? We are getting an alloy. Brass, bronze, these are the examples of your solid solution in which both are solid. Then what is the example of liquid plus solid? Your solute is liquid and your solvent is solid. What will be the example of that thing? The example for that thing, that will be about the absorption of, or you can say the amalgam, zinc amalgam, calcium amalgam. That means mercury is in the maximum state, and on which we are having, that is the mercury over the zinc surface. Mercury, that is liquid in a small amount, that is in the liquid state, whereas in the solid state we are having a metal, zinc amalgam. When you take the mercury and take it over any metal surface, what is formed? Amalgam. So that is an example of a liquid solid type of the solid solution. And the last solid solution, that is gas on solid, that is the absorption of any gas on the solid surface. That means H2, you might be knowing about the standard hydrogen electrode, means hydrogen is allowed to reacted on the platinum surface. What is that thing? that is nothing but it is the gaseous on the solid surface. Why we will in this lecture we will be discussing this solid solution. Why solid solution? Because it is the combination of the two things, metal plus metal alloy. That means for that reason we will be going for this solid solution. Now liquid solution, if we go or if we take the example of the liquid solution, what are the example? That is solid plus liquid. Take a sugar, put it in a water, that is a sugar solution which we are getting, that is nothing but the liquid solution in which solute is solid. Liquid plus liquid, if you take the juice, lime juice taken in a water, that is liquid plus liquid. And if you go for the gas and liquid, that is nothing but the carbon dioxide whenever it is pressed inside the liquid, that is Pepsi or the Thumbs Up, whatever you are drinking, that is nothing but a gas inside the liquid, that is your liquid solution. So liquid solution you have seen in your surroundings. Gaseous solution, that is also the simple one, solid in the gas, that means the dust particles inside the atmosphere. Gaseous solution, your moisture inside your atmosphere, that is also liquid plus gas, and your gas in gas, the mixture of the air, nitrogen in the atmosphere, oxygen in the atmosphere, so that are also the gaseous solutions. So these are the three types of the solutions which are there, that is solid, liquid, gas. How they are classified? They are based on the solvent which is used. Okay, the solvent on which they are used. So now we will be discussing about the thing that is your solid solution. What we will be discussing? We will be discussing about our solid solution. What are the different types of the solid solution? So the thing that is your solid solution. So in the solid solution they are of the two types. The first type, that is known as an substitutional solid solution, and the second one it is known as an interstitial solid solution. Substitutional solid solution, interstitial solid solution. In this substitutional we are having two types. In the substitutional, the first one that is known as an ordered, and the second one that is known as an random. Ordered substitutional solid solution and random substitutional solid solution. Now let us discuss this ordered substitutional. What is substitutional solid solution? If your solute and solvent are of the same size, if your solute and solvent are of the same size, then this type of the thing, if this is the case, then so if they are of the same size, and let us see that this is the thing of the same size, and if this black portion that is your solute, and if you are having the blue one that is the solvent, then you can see that there is some pattern which is there, that this type of the thing that is your substitutional solid solution. Means both the things they are of the same type. Solute and solvent both are of the same size, then that is known as a substitutional solid solution. But if over here, if there is a pattern which is having a proper pattern is there, if they are following the pattern, that means you can see over here the one line that is of the thing, and over here you can see if this is the case, and over here if there is a thing that is a solute is present, you can identify that after two solvent line there is a solute line, after two solvent line there is a solute line, then this is known as, and this type of the thing that is your ordered substitutional solid solution, in which we can find it out the pattern is fixed. We can assume that the next thing what will be it, that can be assumed in the ordered substitutional solid solution, whereas in the random there is no such case of the thing, it can be at the any part you can see over here. If this is the case, you cannot predict where this thing is coming, so that is your random thing. If your solute are placed anywhere randomly in the solution, then that type of the thing which is known, that is known as a random substitutional solid solution. Okay, and the second type of the solid solution, that is interstitial. If the size of the solute is very much small, if the size of the solute is very much small as compared to your solvent, if these are the molecules of your solvent, and in the place which is there in between, if the solute particles sit, then this type of the arrangement is known as an here solvent, and your solute will be of the black color. So solute. So size of solute is very much less. Where they are sitting in the spaces which are there between the solvent molecule. Over there your solute is placing. So that is known as an interstitial solid solution. So these are the different types of the solid solutions which are there over here. Now, can we mix any of the solute and solvent? How or which are the factors which are there for this particular purpose? Can we take any of the solute and solvent and can we mix any of the thing? No. If you take a sand and if you take a water, then that too will not form a solution. Why? Because there are certain factors which they have to follow. And if that criteria is followed, then and then both the things can combine with each other and they form the particular thing that is a solution. So for that thing, there is a thing that is known as a Hume and Rothery rule. What are these? Hume and Rothery rule are nothing but the rules which are there for the solid solution. If your solute and your solvent, if they fulfill the criteria of your Hume and Rothery, then and then they are going to prepare a solution. Otherwise, your solution will not be prepared. Then what are the different Hume and Rothery rules? Let us discuss. This is one of the most important topic. What are the Hume and Rothery rules? They are divided into 4 types. The first one, that is the atomic size. The first one which is there, the first factor, atomic size. Your solute should be maximally 15% less than your solvent. Your solute size should be maximum 15% smaller than your solvent. If that ratio is more, then there will be no solution formed. Means example, if solvent is of 100 centimeter, then your solute should be maximum 15% small. That means it should be between 86 to 100 centimeter only. If it is of the 83 centimeter, then it will not form a solution. That means atomic size, that means 15% less can be allowed. Other than that, it will not form a solution. So your very first factor which is there, that is known as an atomic size, in which your solvent should be having a maximum size and your solute should be maximum 15% smaller is allowed for the solution. The second one, the second factor which is there, that is known as a crystal structure. The second one, that is known as a crystal structure. You are aware about the different types of the crystal structure, FCC, BCC, HCP. Here, solute and solvent should have the same crystal structure. If they have the same crystal structure, then and then you can say your both solute and solvent will mix together and will form a solution. Other than that, they will not form a solution. So your crystal structure should be same. The third factor, that is relative valency. Relative valency. Now, what is this relative valency? You will be knowing about the valence electrons. The valency means how many electrons are present in the outermost orbit of any of the element. So, if the valency is less, then more solubility is there. Then there is a more solubility. That means there are less amount of valence electrons which are present. So what will happen? It can accommodate more solution inside it. That means if there is a less valency, means less electrons are present in the outermost orbit, then it can dissolve more and more solute inside it. Whereas the same case, if the valency is more, then there is a less solubility. Why? There are electrons which are there, so it will not allow more solute particles to get settled. So for that thing you can say that the valency plays an important role. For less valency there will be a more solubility, and for the more valency there will be the less solubility which is there. And the last factor which is there, that is known as a chemical affinity. That is your chemical affinity. What is this chemical affinity? That means the bonding, or you can say the force which is attractive force between solute and solvent. Attractive force between solute and solvent. That means if chemical affinity, that means attractive force between solute and solvent is less. If there is a less chemical affinity, then there is a less. If there is a less chemical affinity, then you can say there is a more solubility. There is a more solubility. That means if two different solvent particles are not having a more attachment with that, what will happen? They will try to create a bond with the solute. So chemical affinity within the solvent particles is less. That means they are not having any attraction between the solvent particles. So what will they do? They will allow more solute to get inside that thing. So same way, if chemical affinity is more, that means there is more bonding between the solvent electrons. So what will happen? They will not allow solute to settle. So that means then there is the less solubility will be there. What will be the effect? Due to the chemical, means solvent particles are more bonded with each other. So as a result, they are not interested in solute which is coming from the outside. So that means if chemical affinity between solvent particles is more, then less solubility, and chemical affinity is less in the solvent particle, then there is more solubility. So if all these four criteria are fulfilled, then and then your material will form a solution. So that is the reason why not all the particles mixing we can get a solution. Clear? So this was all about the Human-Rothery rule, and we have discussed the solid solutions, which are its type, and what is the Human-Rothery rule. Clear? So in the next lecture we will be moving forward for our different types of the cooling curves, phase diagram, and all that things we will be discussing in our upcoming lectures. Till then, thank you.